You guys, I still can't get over that little teaser trailer that the Sims team posted yesterday. The multi-units galore, duplexes, townhomes, in-law suites, condos, dormitories, seeing 3, 4, 5, 6 units, and now knowing we can have more than 6 units with a cheat? Okay, this is kind of insane. I won't lie to you guys, the Sims team ate with that. Like, they ate that one thing.
Yeah. You're not that bitch or nothing, but you still ate that little one thing, you ate that one thing. I mean, you eat a lot of shit, you eat a lot, but you ate that one thing you did.
I think that's very relevant to say, considering all the misses from, the Sims team as of recent, in my opinion, but this pack looks to be no miss, guys. No miss whatsoever. We have a little mini Q&A today. Yesterday was insane. Lots of stuff was revealed, some game-changing new information, a new teaser trailer for the multi-units. Simguru Nova has been active again today on Twitter, just answering a few questions, nothing too groundbreaking today. Of course, we have some hype. Candy Heart Sims asks Simguru Nova, can you tell us how long you were working on this? I feel like you've been teasing something for so long, and Simguru Nova responds confirming I started working on the pack right around the time Growing Together came out. Slight overlap time by a few weeks, I think. So the Sims 4 Growing Together was released mid-March of this year. That's about 8 months, guys. And I know it did not take them 8 months to create the Sims 4 for rent. So I'm assuming that Simguru Nova has been working on this pack, obviously, but wasn't a part of the team the whole time then, I guess? I'm assuming that's probably a common thing in development. Maybe some gurus are kind of a part of the creation process from the start, then others join in later down the line through development, which it makes sense. When Growing Together came out, whoever was working on that pack was then probably allocated to working on the For Rent expansion, because I'm assuming that they've been working on For Rent for a lot longer than that. They have had to have started working on that sometime last year, but good to know. Lyric Simmer quotes Simguru Nova writing, okay, tell me if I'm misunderstanding. It sounds like, in quotes, residential rentals are more like a build feature than a lot type. If that's the case, wouldn't that mean we could build a rental property on a community lot? And Simguru Nova does respond confirming no, it's a lot type. So I'm already assuming that there is going to be some sort of tool in build mode where you actually select and dedicate what rooms belong to what Sims, in case you want to, rent a room out. Or I don't know, maybe that feature is going to actually be a part of live mode, but it makes sense for that to be in build mode, but it is definitely 100% confirmed that it is a lot type. And of course, this was confirmed in the last Q&A that it's really easy to convert your builds to this lot type. And that's why they're trying to push Simmers to get creating now before the pack comes out. That way, when it does, you can instantly just convert your lots straight into it and jump straight into gameplay. Many users are still asking about loading screens between the apartments. I don't see them showing every single sim and what everyone's doing at the same exact time. I feel like that's just going to be very resource intensive. And I just have a lot of questions based off of the information that we learned yesterday. Apparently, there's a 20 sim maximum limit per lot, which I didn't know about, but judging by this new information, 6 units per lot, and they've already confirmed 8 sims per unit. That's 48 sims on a lot. So does this mean that they're going to be increasing that number from 20 all the way up to 40? I think it would be really nice if we actually had a setting in the settings menu where you could choose the maximum number of sims shown on a lot, of course, based on your system specifications. If you decide, hey, I want to put this number up a lot, maybe there's a little warning that pops up and says that this could negatively impact game performance. Are you sure? Having that option would be nice, for players that do have more powerful systems. But I definitely don't think there are going to be any loading screens between between units on a lot. If anything, I think it's just gonna kind of be where maybe that room or that unit that is not active to your family, your household, maybe it grays out, or maybe it just goes black and you just can't see inside of it, because that's something that we've experienced in terms of separate apartments or units within the Sims franchise before. Now, will we actually have to move Sims into these units, or will it kind of work on its own, like with story progression, where Sims move out and Sims move in on their own? I think that would be pretty nice, but again, we gotta wait till we see more gameplay, because there are just so many possibilities with how this could actually work. Also, guys, it's possible that we can have trailer parks now, like actual functional trailer parks with their own units. This is going to be a lot of fun. I guess one question I do have, we know that there are communal mailboxes, but for example, if we have trailer parks and we just want to put a regular mailbox outside of each house, is there a way that we can assign that mailbox to a specific unit instead of having to use the apartment mailboxes for literally every single type? Because, you know, with some builds like townhomes and row homes, those communal mailboxes aren't a thing. I mean, sometimes they are, but sometimes they aren't. And what if in your game, in your save file, you don't want them to be a thing? I hope there's a way that we can actually, you know, dedicate and allocate each mailbox to be for a specific unit, you know, the single regular house mailboxes. So continuing the conversation from yesterday's video, Twitter user Jolena responds to Sim Guru Nova, okay, so I won't need to put a full kitchen inside of the rented out room. They can come down and have food from the main house. And this is exactly what I wanted to know, because if you're renting out rooms, do they share your space as well, you know? And the Sim Guru Nova responds, as long as the kitchen is shared space, then yes. So for example, if the entire house is considered unit A, but then one room is considered unit B, then no. Whoever moves in and lives in unit B, a part of your house, let's say it's a spare bedroom or a basement, they are not going to be able to get food from your kitchen, because that is considered unit A's space. So what you would have to do is, I guess, make the whole house unit A except for the kitchen, have the kitchen, I guess, not be allocated to either unit, and then of course have the bedroom or basement, whichever you choose to rent out, be for unit B, so that way both of them can use the kitchen and share them together, because they're not dedicated to either unit A or B, if that makes sense. I feel like that's a lot of mumble jumble, but it's sounding like that's the way it's going to work. Shared space, you absolutely need to make sure that it is not assigned to either unit. You guys, the possibilities with this are kind of crazy. One Twitter user writing, oh my god, hold on now, imagine making common areas like a little laundromat on the bottom floor of an apartment building with a little hangout space or a gym. And Sim Guru Nova does respond to this with just the smiley face. So confirming here, these things are possible. You have separate units, but if there's a common area where everyone can visit together, like a foyer, a lobby, a laundry room, a gym, maybe a little cafe, or like a mini kitchen or something, as long as that area is not assigned to any unit, it's, I guess, considered a common area, and anyone can come and, you know, do their laundry, eat food, work out, chat, pretty much anything you can think of. You could even make like a little arcade common area. Like I say, again, the possibilities, like, it's kind of insane. I don't know, guys, I'm having so many questions now given the potential possibilities with this pack. Like, can you hire maids separate or offer it within the agreed rental price if you're a landlord, like a gardener, a butler, nannies? Can the tenants hire those things themselves? And if they do, will you know about it? Like, will you see the maids coming and going, for example? And of course, how will the gameplay be affected by death of a tenant on the lots? If someone else is a tenant, how is that going to affect or change things? Will all the same rules or policies, if they exist, still apply? Will that tenant be replaced? How does that work? Also, another thing I keep thinking about, pet policies. This would be a great way to have integration with cats and dogs. Could a pet policy cause controversy though, due to the real life issue of fighting for service dogs and their handlers? What about ESA policies for emotional support animals? Would the Sims team skip this entirely due to the real world problem? Personally, I have an emotional support animal, and because because of the ESA laws, you do not have to pay pet rent for them. So of course, if there is pet rent, if there is this integration, will there be an option for that? So many possibilities, so many things I want to see, but I don't know exactly how far they're going to go with it. You know, and speaking more on contracts, will the tenant have to agree to set a term? Are they month to month? Can you set terms and time limits for contracts? Obviously, months aren't actually simulated in The Sims 4, but maybe they could be week by week or season by season based, because not everyone has seasons, but with that update, they introduced the calendar, right? So maybe they could be week by week. Can you do a mix of businesses or residential? Can you set the lots you wish to rent out as businesses only, or is it residential only? I'm assuming though that it is residential only, as they've mentioned a couple times, they call them residential rentals. But this opens up a lot of doors for future packs, commercial rentals. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, and the fact that they've done this now, I really feel like hotels and resorts are coming. I've mentioned that before, but I can absolutely see that happening. And could you even imagine, let's say future packs, thinking farther down the line, if we do eventually get hotels and resorts, if we do get the ability to rent out community lots, obviously for hotels and resorts, it would be on a day-to-day basis or a night-to-night basis, or if it's a resort, maybe a week-to-week basis. But if that pack comes out and is actually a thing and it integrates with for rent, maybe you could have own and run an Airbnb. You know, in this pack for rent, let's say there are terms for renting out week by week, but with integration with a potential future hotels and resorts pack, maybe you can rent out day by day or night by night. So you can actually run like a little Sims Airbnb sort of thing. That'd be so cool. And can you think they could also integrate with horse ranch and cats and dogs? Can you imagine stables and pet resorts integrated as well? Will tenants be able to customize their living arrangements? How will we list these in the gallery when publishing them? So many questions that I have, and if you guys have questions, put them down below. Not just questions, but also possibilities and potential pack integration. I want to hear everything that you guys have to say. It's going to be quite the discussion for the next couple of weeks, of course, not only as we learn new info, but as we just over time think of more and more possibilities on our own. And I hope that the Sims team sees and reads all of this stuff and takes notes, and maybe we could have some of this stuff implemented in the future. Of course, with other packs, like for example, if hotels and resorts were to come, it would be an amazing pack integration opportunity. And if all those things I mentioned happen to be in there, you bet your ass I'm gonna want both expansion packs, and that's gonna then drive their sales up as well. These are great ideas. Share yours below, and of course, if there's any more news and info, I will be back as soon as possible. Subscribe, turn on the notifications. Take care. Happy life simming.